remember your alignments. We visualize as if a string or a light energy is attached to the crown of the head, gently suspending us from above. That energetically, one thing that it does is opens the neck area and promotes and encourages the movement of qi and the spirit or the shen up the spine, out through the crown of the head. And then we go down and we relax the shoulders. And by relaxing the shoulders, it allows the elbows to drop and the rib cage to lengthen. And then we create a very gentle roundness to the back and a gentle hollowness to the chest, thus promoting the descending of the qi down the front of the body to the lower dantian. And then we take and we roll the pelvis area forward and upward so that we have an awareness that the tailbone is plumb to Mother Earth, so that we can begin to feel and discern how the weight transfers equally through the entire foot on both sides. And the knees are slightly bent, as all joints are, to promote and encourage the movement of energy, and our feet are pointed straight ahead. Each one of these alignments contains within it the quality of what we call transfer and release, so that the more that you work with these alignments, the more they will reveal to you this concept of how we can begin to create the concept of transfer and release, so that we can move away from seeing the body as individual building blocks, and we can begin to see how the body can transfer through itself. And then we begin to bring our mind to focus at the lower dantian we've talked about. The lower dantian is about 3 inches below the navel, and then project your awareness about 2 inches inside the body. And to the best of your ability and comfort level, try to begin to picture or envision an energy center about the diameter of a grapefruit, orange in color. This is the center of the physical vessel. Very important energy center in our art. And by focusing the mind on your breathing at that location, understand that you're giving yourselves a means or a tool with which to dismiss those random scattered thoughts of the day from the mind. Very important. The Chinese call those random scattered thoughts monkey mind. Okay? Very challenging for us to dismiss and disconnect from that. And then lastly, bringing into one's awareness the connection from heaven, the self, to Mother Earth, or what the Chinese refer to as the 3 powers. The yang energy is associated with the heavens energy, which we project up from the crown of the head. And the earth energy we project down through the energy gates in the feet, deep into the womb of Mother Earth. And then the self is the vessel or the experience with which we begin to understand the interplay of these 2 energies through us. And we give ourselves just a few moments to further calm and center ourselves within that space of stillness. And it's very important that you try to dismiss all the outside chaos and drama and chatter and allow yourself to come into this space of stillness within you. And from that space, I'll ask that we breathe in as we bring the hands slowly above the head. And with the out breath, the fingertips are going to come just below the chin. And we have our courtesy bow from the waist. And as the hands are in the process of coming to the sides, the mind is shifting the weight through the right foot into Mother Earth. And then it allows us to step out shoulders distance with our left foot as we touch first on the toes. And then as the heel touches, the palms turn rearward. So when the palms turn rearward, guys, the first finger and the thumb lightly touch the outside of the thighs. And the fingers, without tension, but they guide the energy down into Mother Earth. And this is what in our art we call Wu Ji. This is that space or that void, sometimes people will call it, before movement is created. Okay? So with that, we're going to just have you turn around to the mirror here. I'm going to grab our timer and we're going to get into our lesson plan for the day. So please, we have a big class, which I really truly appreciate, but try to put yourself comfortably so that you can see me or see yourself in the mirror. Okay? Are you okay with what you need to do there, John, for your...
Yes, I'm all right. I'll just follow your way.
Okay. one of the most important things that we've talked about since our orientation is the importance and the relevance of our alignments within us. The more true we can stay to our proper physical alignments in the body, the more we can create this concept of transfer and release. Remember, one of the most important components in our art, in traditional Tai Chi, is the student at all times must avoid the use of strength. Okay? And this is a very contradictory concept to try to wrap your head around. But in the internal arts, when you're dealing with the movement of energy as opposed to the external arts where you're dealing with the energy of movement, it's completely different. When you create that movement of energy, you want to make sure that the alignments are correct so that the energy can flow freely. And a very, very basic description we gave in our orientation was, if this is your first exposure to the concept of energy, try to equate energy right now to water if you're not comfortable with the concept of energy. And think of your body as a beautiful network of garden hoses. And just like if you would kink or pinch a garden hose, to some degree, you impede the flow of the water through the hose network. Well, we're just like that. According to how we hold the body, the energy will flow. According to how balanced our emotions and our thoughts are, the energy will flow appropriately with that. So where we first begin our journey, as we know from the orientation, is with the alignment. So I'm going to do a quick review of that, okay? So you're going to put your feet shoulders distance apart. The alignments that we just went through before our bow-in are integrated into every single thing that you do. That is one of the most challenging things for students in the beginning process of their journey with Tai Chi, is to understand how important the alignments are. So within your standing is an incredible opportunity for so many different awarenesses to present themselves to you. The first thing that we're going to review here is why before we get into our standing meditation, Embrace the Tree, that we started last week, we're going to do a quick review of your breathing here. Remember, the breathing that we use when we're learning the Tai Chi, as we are in here, for the health benefits, we use a type of modality of breathing that is generally referred to as the Buddhist breath. And you're going to be asked to touch the tip of the tongue to the upper palate as if you're getting ready to enunciate the word let. And this is very important to understand from day one. You don't have to remember all these names, but you have to begin to wrap your head around that there is a circuit of energy that flows from the tailbone up the rear of the spine, over the crown of the head, to the roof of the mouth. And by touching the tip of the tongue to the upper palate, you now complete that vessel to another vessel that runs down the front of the body, back underneath the groin. This circuit of energy, the Chinese call small heavenly circuit. So you don't have to get too involved in it in the beginning process, but you have to understand why you're being asked to touch the tip of the tongue to the upper palate. That's the technique that the Chinese call building the bridge. That in of itself is going to bring more vitality to you, because now you're consciously connecting those vessels together. And those vessels are responsible for regulating the energy out to the organ meridians. So if you think of your body as this incredible network of garden hoses, those two vessels are like the main tributaries that feed the energy to the organs. Okay? Now, the lower dantian that we spoke about briefly, okay? If this is new to you, if you haven't been here before, put your index finger to the navel and go 3 fingers down. And then put the center of your left palm right where that third finger down is, and take your other hand and put that right over top. Use your mind to project that where the center of the palm is on your abdomen, about 2 inches in. And visualize that energy center that we call the lower dantian. If you're in any other energy modalities, you'll refer to it as the sacral chakra or the orange ray. Now, take and put the tip of the tongue at the upper palate and gently touch the lips together and the teeth together. The in-breath is in through the nose, and the out-breath is out through the nose also. So as you're breathing in through the nose, without forcing, but awareness-wise, have an awareness of the lower abdominal cavity gently expanding as if a balloon in a 360-degree radius. And as you breathe out through the nose, have an awareness of that lower abdominal cavity retracting back to the center. So the tip of the tongue remains lightly connected to the upper palate at all times, as if you're getting ready to enunciate the word let. The in-breath is lightly drawn in through the nose with an awareness of that lower abdominal cavity, not expanding only frontwards, but in your awareness in a 360-degree radius like a balloon. and on the out-breath through the nose, it retracts back to the center. This type of breathing can be a little bit challenging in the beginning because this is the type of breathing, whether you realize it or not, that we came into our physical forms with when we took form when we were born. And then for whatever reason, there's a lot of different theories on that, we move away from this type of breathing into more chest breathing. The chest breathing is not conducive to the cultivation of qi. It does not massage the internal organs. It does not help to keep the body chemistry balanced. So many factors, okay? So this belly breathing is how you would see a baby breathe if you took a baby and put the baby on its back. Baby would breathe in, belly would expand, baby would breathe out, would retract back to the center. So just take another couple moments here. So while you're practicing your Buddhist breath, you should be constantly monitoring your alignments. So while you practice your Buddhist breath, I'm going to give you a quick referral of what we just did. Head as if suspended from above, shoulders relaxed, elbows down, back gently rounded, chest slightly hollowed, pelvis rolled forward and upward, knees slightly bent, toes straight ahead. And the last thing that we talked about is try to project that inner Buddha-like smile. Remember, we talked about most of us, the greater majority of us, create an internal frown that we're not aware of. When you are unaware of it, you're walking around in a contracted state of energy to some degree or another. By projecting that vision of the Buddha's face, or as we said before, if that's not comfortable, use your children, grandchildren, pet, favorite place, but create that inner smile. That is energetically going to open the neck area up and radiate that openness throughout the whole body. Okay? Take a moment, bring the hands back to Wu Ji. Okay? I know for most of us that are just starting, take a moment and sort of just walk in place as you shake the hands and the feet out a little bit. The standing in the very beginning can be challenging to a lot of people, okay? What we started last week is probably one of, in all of my journey with the, and I've been involved in the martial arts in one system or another since I was 17. So it's been a fairly long journey for me, and everything that I've come across, this part of your Qi Kung, this is one of the most prominently done Qi Kung exercises for all of the internal arts, okay? It comes from a system called Zhan Zheng, which loosely translates into pole standing or standing like pole. Many things can be derived from this. The main thing that you do not want to do is turn this into a physical endurance contest. You don't want it to become you against the clock. When is this 3 minutes going to end? We start our beginners off, I start my beginners off with 3 minutes. And not to alarm you or scare you, but at an advanced level, you go 40 minutes to an hour or more, sometimes up to 2 hours or more standing without movement. So with this, in the beginning stages, what we're looking for right now is taking the opportunity through this standing meditation to better understand and what the Chinese call listen to your alignments, okay? We're used to, in the Western world, associate listening with the ears. The Chinese and the internal arts, the term listening is feeling. Feel what's going on inside you. Explore what's going on. So this comes from the Zhan Zheng system. And as I was getting ready to say, this is probably the most powerful Qi Kung as far as cultivating one's energy and the opportunity to open up the energetic pathways and to bring to the surface. Remember, we're a sum of all of our energies, our physical energies, our emotional energies, our mental energies, our spiritual energies. And the more balanced that all of these energies are, not only within themselves, but with each other, the more that we're going to experience that balance in our lives, okay? So it's very important that these energies be balanced. So this has the ability also, as you get further along with it, to draw from within you the imbalances. There's people that have emotional releases through these, and they just break down crying. Not to project anything to anyone, but this is how powerful these exercises are. This is called Embrace the Tree. For those of you that have been with me, and we went through you know, like Sally and then Jane, if you're comfortable, Roy and Marcy and so forth, you're going to use the Buddha holds belly. Remember we talked about that? So so I have some students in here that have been with me a little bit before, so let me get them into this. So both of us, you know, the whole group is going to put the middle fingers together, go right between the breast, and go out in a nice expansive circle from there, and then open up the hands and arms about 6 to 12 inches. Now, keep your fingers and thumbs lined up. Now, remember your alignment. You just want to have your feet shoulders distance here, Marianne. Right? Have your feet shoulders distance. All of your alignments come into play. Now, and I'm sorry, I don't know. Are you just joining us? Okay. You just have to relax your shoulders, let the elbows drop. Remember your alignments that we talked about. Head as if suspended from above. If you see your elbows parallel to Mother Earth, you have way too much tension in your shoulders. Look in the mirror, relax your shoulders as if you were tapping yourself, and watch your elbows drop. Okay? Now, for those of you that are just starting, you're going to hold this position. For those of you that have been with me, you're going to do Buddha holds belly. Visualize a big old Buddha belly in front of you. This is just for the people that have been with me before. And bring that down underneath as if your hands are supporting that Buddha belly. That's going to bring an awareness to the lower dantian. For those of us that are just starting our journey here, you're going to use Embrace the Tree. Now I'm going to set the timer here. It's only 3 minutes plus 30 seconds of the beep. If your balance is comfortable, close your eyes and allow yourself to go inward. Remember, as you calm and relax the physical body, you calm and relax the mind. As you calm and relax the mind, you calm and relax the breath. So we start with the physical body and we go through our alignments. Head suspended from above, shoulders relaxed, elbows down. Back rounded, chest hollowed. Pelvis forward and upward so that there's an awareness that the tailbone is plumb to Mother Earth. You should feel the weight go equally through the entire foot on both sides. Knees slightly bent, toes straight ahead. And then settle into your Buddhist breath. Tip of the tongue at the upper palate. Teeth lightly touching, lips lightly touching. Draw the breath slowly through the nose with an awareness of the lower abdominal cavity expanding like a balloon in a 360-degree radius. And breath out through the nose with an awareness of that lower abdominal cavity retracting back to the center. Either posture that you may be holding, your focus and awareness right now should be primarily at the lower dantian. Remember to bring into the mind's awareness that Buddha-like smile. And as you're observing these awarenesses within you, give some thought to the concept of learning from nature as we talked about. In this case, think of all the trees have to teach us. Open the crown of your head, if you will, in your awareness to receive, not in a religious connotation, it's only terminology, the yang energy the Chinese call the heavens energy. Open the crown of your head to receive that infinite vastness of heavens energy. Open the energy gate in your feet called bubbling well to receive that infinite vastness of Mother Earth's energy. And begin to understand that you, the vessel that you are, and the experience that you are, those energies are now interplaying with one another. And our whole system of what we're in the process of studying is a process in understanding these energies and the interplay of these energies through the experience that we are, and bringing these energies as best we can into balance, alignment, and harmony within us. So continue to explore these. level out your chin there, Mike, okay? Don't let your head tilt back. Take a moment from whatever posture you're in, turn the palms up with the in-breath. Use the out-breath so as to allow the crane heads of the wrist to descend down. And use the in-breath with an awareness, as always if one chooses, of gathering the universal chi. Create a single chi ball overhead, and use the out-breath and your intent to guide that down into the lower dantian, where the hands will thus separate and they'll return back to Wu Ji. And take a moment, if you need, to shake the hands and sort of walk in place for a moment or two there. Very, very important, guys, that you take all of your alignments and integrate that into the standing method. What you're going to begin to see today as time goes on today is that the things that we talked about in our introduction and our first week and our second week, you're going to begin to see how you don't learn them and just, okay, I know that, throw it away, move on to something else. Learn that, throw it away, I already know that. You're going to see how each and everything that you learn grows and evolves, but the nucleus of what you are learning stays there, and the awareness of what you're doing continues to expand. So as we get today into our first movement, stroking of the bird's tail, and we're even going to begin to approach our second movement, Pong Lu Jian, because I have to make this conducive for all of us here. You're going to see how everything that we've done just in these 3 weeks is contained within these movements that you're being asked to do. Okay? So I know that in the lesson plans that we have right now, I can't do a whole lot as far as moving linear right now because of the class size and the information that we have to get out. And I know standing in the beginning can be a little bit challenging for people. So I want to just do this before we get into some of these Qigong exercises. This will probably be new for a lot of you other than maybe Roy. This is a very, very good way to warm up. This is a very, very old ancient Qigong. This is called Lohan padding. This was used back in the day by the warriors to create golden bell Qigong or iron shirt Qigong, where their bodies became impervious to blows and to weapons. In the last 25 to 50 years, this system is used to enliven and awaken the Qi on a cellular level. So it may seem silly to you. Hopefully you're not embarrassed by it. It's an incredible Qigong, and the only reason I'm using it here is because the people that are new to this are standing a lot. It's going to wake up your lower body without me having to take you through a bunch of linear exercises to warm you up. Okay, so give me a moment to run the timer over here, and we'll get right into this. Now, this is a padding technique. This padding technique has a rhythm to it, and it wakes up the energy. Think of the energy. Energy is not unlike water, like I said. One of the worst things that you can do is let water sit and become stagnant. One of the worst things that you can do with energy is not create movement for energy. So when energy is sitting and is stagnant, it's not good. So this is going to wake this energy up at a very, very deep cellular level, okay? So, looks silly, but here you go. Put your feet shoulders distance apart, okay? And you're going to bend over. And you're going to take your hands. You're going to follow me here. Put your hands on your buttocks, cheeks. And here's the rhythm. Here, just pat with me. You're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you're going to come up. You're going to put the weight on the right foot. And you're going to be on the heel of your left foot. The outside of the limb is the yang. The inside is yin. So you're going to excite both of those. So right at your thighs, and don't go crazy and hit too hard, okay? So right between the groin and the knee. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now you're going to go right to the calf. Go down to the calf, outside and inside. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now switch legs. It'll wake you up. Okay? Okay? Start. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now the calf inside now. 1, 2,